What's up guys, we're here and I'm back in New York playing Last Stand for Division 1. Guys, I love this game mode and perhaps it's my favourite game mode PvP for the original game. I've spent so many hours in this mode, it's insane, level 99, very early on because I absolutely rinsed through this in no time because this was my go-to area. I love Dark Zone, it was great solo. But you can't beat 8 versus 8, and this is a game mode that's sorely lacking from the Division 2. Now, for the devs to come out and say there's no Last Stand planned for Year 2, that says, oh, again, that does say to me there's quite a damning verdict. Now, unless they have some kind of 8 versus 8 mode in Year 2, then I'll be highly disappointed because just playing this evening just brings back so many good memories. And again, I'm rusty, just like an old nail in all honesty, but jump back in and you can soon start to feel the groove. You know when to pop your med kits, you know when to pop your support station, booster shot. You can synergize them together to get the most damage or the most heal, all that jazz. And that works so well with this game, is the synergy of your skills. And again, the way you can build is immensely fantastic. Now this is a stark contrast to the Division 2 where PvE is in a good place. I think we can all admit that PvP is not anywhere near the level of PvE. Now I do feel that in time they will work on this and work on the balance, and in terms of Year 2 and what, going back to last night's video, in terms of, yes, gear score will be relevant. 500 gear score will offer you max stats, that's a guarantee, that's from Frederick Farlander himself, so that will happen. Again, the way I looked at, you would farm for that 500 gear score, make sure you have the highest gear score items equipped to drop that 500 gear score, not this 495 crap. It's 500 is what we need and want. But then we're looking at attributes, and that's what we want to do, farm for those attributes. And thankfully no more stupid armor builds. And again, I've seen many videos on YouTube that have 550, 600k armor and say, look at this, is great. In time, a few more months, that will no longer exist. So build for the future, think about what you can do in Year 2. Back to Last Stand. Now, I do come across a few people that say that in terms of the Division Last Stand, it's difficult to get a game, it's difficult to get on and obviously find an 8 versus 8. However, I find it quite easy. And that's because I log on Friday evening, 8 PM GMT time, and I can easily find a game. And that's because there is a superbly awesome person on Instagram that does this avidly, and it is Division_addict. And what she does, she plays Last Stand 8 PM GMT each Friday evening, and that's just a bit of fun. And there is an abundance of players that can team up, and again, you can see in the gameplay that there's an immense amount of fun to be had in this game. So do me a favour, drop her a follow on Instagram, message. If you're on Xbox, then definitely something I would, if you do want to play Division Last Stand, you want a full server, this is something you need to get on with, so make sure you drop a follow and get in touch. But I adore Last Stand, I really do, and just playing this today just brings back so many good memories. And again, I just want to reiterate how important these game modes were for the lifespan of the Division 1. And if you look at Division 2's current climate, and we look at conflict, which is feels like you're eating cornflakes and someone just walked past and shit in them. There's no other way to define conflict. It is a mess of a game mode. Whether it be skirmish, domination, whatever it may be, it's piss poor. It really is. And again, if you feel differently, please let me know below. It'd be nice to have a discussion, a debate regarding how you feel conflict is great in the Division 2. Now the DZ is a step up from that, and that's because, again, it is PvE VP, and there are people that still go in there farming. To be honest, not that many anymore. Whereas you go back to Div 1, there was an abundance of people farming, and yes, it'd be a lot of fun. If you wanted just to farm the landmarks for the gear, for the exotics, that's what you would do, and that would be really good. I mean, for me, I'm a PvPer, but I do recognise people that farm, and I try to avoid them because I do want to PvP against other PvPers and not just farmers. So I've always tried to avoid them, but at times, you know, they just pot of collateral damage. That's how things work. So that, again, if you're going to take the risk, there has to be some kind of reward from that action. But still, I genuinely love the DZ days of the Division 1, and just again, just look at the gameplay now, it is super electric, it's fun, it feels very cohesive, and it feels, again, even though this game is nigh on 4 years old, it's still running pretty well. And it is, in my opinion, the playability of Div 1 PvP is so much stronger than Div 2 PvP. And I genuinely hope that changes in time, and it needs to change for the life cycle of the Division 2. Because if I don't see any improvements, again, there are people I know that just won't play PvP. PvE against NPCs is in a good space, and again, people will continue to farm and grind, and they will do so again come the changes in Year 2. But still, guys, it's something that it needs to be top of Massive's priority, and that is PvP. Now, the one good thing about Division 1 that I really enjoy, and again I hope something is reiterated or again instilled into the second game, was the synergy between the builds and how you can spec into one area. So for example, if you want to go down the route, if you want to go Deadeye, if you remember Deadeye, you would have 10k firearms, you would have not a lot of stamina, you'd have not a lot of skill power. So your point in Deadeye is simply just being the sniper. You would just be there for the one shots or the possible two shots. That's what you'd be there for, and that would be your purpose within the game. Now, there was never any point where you would be tanky and you could withstand X amount of damage, because that was not how you spec'd into. You spec'd into DPS damage. So your armor, your stamina, your toughness, wherever it may be, skill power was exceptionally low. So you had no survivability, but you could hit very hard. If you get that first shot in, you could be king. And that's what I like about the Division 1. If you're going to spec so much into damage, then there has to be mitigating circumstances, and they have to be simply, you have no armor, you are squishy. That's how the game should be, and Division 1 hits that on the head really well, and that's what made me happy with Div 1. That's what I enjoyed building in Div 1. Now we know in Div 2 you can hit very hard, you can 2-tap people, but still have 500k armor, and essentially have a silly amount of skill power to go with that. And again, that's part of the problem with Division 2 currently. And I think if you disagree, again, that is your opinion, I respect your opinion, but you've got to ask yourself the question, what other game that has RPG elements, that has building mechanics that let you do so, let you be the jack of all trades and be the master of all of them at the same time? That's impossible. It doesn't happen other than Division 2, and that's where the game at its core needs to fundamentally change, and it will do, I feel, in Year 2. And the grassroots that I feel they've put in now, the hard yards from the devs in terms of the new attribute system and the core attributes, will minimise these type of builds in the Division 2, which is only a good thing. So I do feel they're taking a lot of nous and a lot of information from the Division 1 and putting their own little Washington spin on it for this iteration. And I'm excited about it now. And to be fair, I have gone through a stage where I've not been that excited regarding the Division 2. And in all honesty, we could talk about PvE, I could play PvE all day long, I can farm all day long, I can grind all day long and have a lot of fun in this game. And I think a lot of us, again, a lot of people that watch the channel do feel the same. They do feel the grind is fun, can be rewarding, not as much as it should be, but still, when you get that elusive drop, which is nigh on brilliant, you're in a good place. And again, that encourages, again, it's that kind of adrenaline to carry on and find that next piece. It's in a good place, PvE. It needs a bit of spit and polish in terms of loot, drops and RNG, but it's good. PvP, again, which I've mentioned many times, that's the reason for me not doing any PvP builds. I create a PvP build, go in there, and I just struggle to compete because it's off meta. It doesn't work. So it's nowhere near the likes of the Perfect Berserk and Clutch. It's just nowhere near a Bloodsucker chest piece build with silly armour. You're just nowhere near that quality. And that's the problem with the PvP element of the game currently, is that there is a huge gulf between what's viable and what's not viable. There's a lack of middle ground. Whereas we know in PvP Division 1, I'm running Alphabridge 6-piece and I'm wrecking. So, and again, when I play Division 1, if I wanted a PvP and I go to PvP and I want to be top dog, you know, you go, well, it's got to be Nomad, isn't it? Got to be nomad, because that's survivability. So you'd roll with a balanced nomad, so you have that immense survivability, and you can do alright for damage as well, because you'll have about 7k firearms. Although we're talking about the 9k Stam Pred build. Obvious, I know, but again, there's many ways how to counter that. Of course there is, but still, again, that was a wrecking ball build if you've got it right. And then you're looking Banshee if you wanted to hunt rogues. So you'd have options, you have so many options what to do, and I've put out so many Ninja Bite builds that were fantastic, that produced the goods time and time again. But this is Alphabridge, and Alphabridge, as you see, Rex. Run it right, Rex. That's how I feel with Alphabridge. And this is a 7-6-3 build, so 7k firearm, 6k stamina, 3k skill power. That's how I worked, and it worked an absolute beaut. And you see the footage that it does it wreck. I'm a bit rusty as well, like that rusty nails I said at the start of the video, but still, I'm loving Div 1. And I'm going to play this every Friday night for a few weeks because I love the thrill of Last Stand. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more Last Stand on a Friday night, drop a comment, like the video, and of course subscribe to the channel, because there will be Last Stand if that's what you want to see, and discussions on topics regarding Div 1 and Div 2. But guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.